Welcome back, everyone. One family is working together to educate people how to speak up about distracted driving.
One of them is Miss Frazee Outstanding Teen, Sophie Nelson, and her mom, Heather Ware Nelson, are here to talk about their big campaign called Distracted Driving, Take the Pledge. We got some great bracelets thanks to them. And to both of you, thanks so much for being here.
Yes, thank you for having us.
So why'd you choose this as kind of your mission or focus?
Well, in 2011, I was in a car accident. I was hit by a distracted driver who was on his phone. Since then, I've spent 7.5 months on casts and on crutches, and I had 5 major surgeries on my right foot.
Wow. Okay. So what does this campaign involve, and who have you talked to, and what are you asking people to do?
We are asking them to take the pledge to not be distracted while driving, or if they are in the car with the distracted driver, to speak up about it in an educational way, to just tell them like what you're nervous about and how to solve it. And we have gone to some news stations, and we are planning on going and talking in some schools within the next month.
So walk me through this, because I would presume people your age, you see them texting and driving a bunch, and you just said you need to have an educational conversation. Let's say Budo, because I wouldn't, I'm just kidding. Let's say I'm texting and driving. What would you say to me if I was doing that?
I would, first of all, just acknowledge it, saying that I don't feel comfortable with you doing that. Then I would offer a solution by asking you what you want sent, and I could text it, or tell you to pull over and text them so that it is more safe. Yeah.
And, you know, you're right, it's not just teenagers. Do you know how old the person was that hit you that was on the phone? Was it a young person?
It was. He had just gotten his license, and he was 16.
Okay. But you do see, you know, they just did busted by the bus in Moorhead. Adults are just as guilty as kids. I mean, do you feel like adults also need to have this conversation?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even on the way here, I was putting on lipstick, and Sophie's like, "Mom, don't do that right now. We can do that when we get there." And so, I mean, you know, it's just those everyday things that you don't think about. And even though I have one of the bracelets in the car, I do have to remind myself every single day, you know, don't drive distracted. Keep your head on the road and focus on where you're going.
It is. It needs to be a conscious effort at all times.
Do you use any of these apps they have where it stops your phone from working or anything? Or
I can't drive, so I haven't had to.
But what Sophie is more focusing on is teaching people how to speak up when they're in a car with a distracted driver, because she can't drive yet. And, you know, so many times you don't think about distracted driving, but there's also distracting passengers. And so you really want to not be a distracting passenger. Like maybe if you have your young kids in the car and they're fighting in the back seat, you know, maybe you just need to pull over and say, "Okay, kids, you know, Mom really needs to drive and focus on the road," and not continue to drive until things have settled down.
Not drive and try to reach into the
Right.
Exactly,
That counts as
yes.
distracted driving.
I have to pull this cover up one more time. So how can people partake, help out, make a difference?
They can sign the pledge and buy a wristband for $1. We have them pay for it to do it $1 so that we can give out free wristbands to, when I go to schools, we can give them wristbands to either have them remember to tell their parents or to give to their parents.
And where do I buy them at? Online or?
You can buy them online on our website, distracteddrivingtakethepledge.com or distracteddrivingspeakup.com. And you can purchase them on there. My contact information is on there as well, and I'd be happy to drop some off to any businesses if any businesses would like some bands for their employees as well.
Awesome.
We could hand these out in the newsroom.
Thank you very much for being here. Yeah, we'll put them like in the news vehicle.
Vehicles.
So thanks, you guys.
Thank
All
you.
right, stay with us. We're going to wrap things up right after this.